we gonna go full, buck full crazy.
Going crazy.
Crazy.
Justin Bieber was just a young, bright-eyed teen when he first connected with Diddy, full of excitement, unaware that this moment would change his life forever. Back then, he looked happy, living his dream.
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and just turn their back on you in a second.
But now, years later, you can hear the pain in his words, and things have taken a darker turn. A new witness has come forward with a shocking claim, adding fuel to long-standing suspicions that something was terribly wrong behind the scenes. On September 16, 2024, Diddy was arrested in New York on extremely serious charges. According to multiple sources, these charges include racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. The gravity of these allegations cannot be overstated. If convicted, Diddy could potentially face life in prison. The case has been building for some time. Federal authorities conducted searches of Diddy's homes in Los Angeles and Miami in March 2024, months before his eventual arrest. These raids came after numerous civil lawsuits had been filed against the music mogul, including a high-profile case from his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. Ventura filed a civil lawsuit in November 2023, alleging sexual assault and abuse during their relationship. That case was quickly settled out of court, but the allegations remained in the public consciousness. The severity of her claims gained additional credibility when surveillance video emerged showing Diddy physically assaulting Ventura in a hotel hallway in 2016, concrete evidence that shocked the public and lent weight to her allegations. As Diddy's criminal case has progressed, prosecutors have outlined an extensive list of witnesses expected to testify against him. According to court documents, these include several identified victims referred to as Victim 1, Victim 2, Victim 3, and Victim 5, though it's worth noting that Victim 3 inches is reportedly missing, creating challenges for the prosecution. Other expected witnesses include Cassie Ventura herself, a male sex worker allegedly involved in what prosecutors call freak-offs, friends of victims who can corroborate allegations, and business associates familiar with Diddy's operations. The trial has faced some complications, including allegations of witness tampering. Prosecutors have accused Diddy of making relentless efforts to influence witness testimony, including contacting potential witnesses using other inmates' telephone, accounts, and three-way calls while in prison. One specific instance involves a woman referred to as Witness 2, who prosecutors claim posted an Instagram statement countering allegations after communication with Diddy from prison. Now here's where Justin Bieber comes into the picture. As these serious allegations against Diddy have emerged, internet sleuths and fans have begun re-examining Diddy's past relationships, including his mentorship of young stars like Bieber. The videos we discussed in Part 1, showing a teenage Bieber spending time with Diddy, have resurfaced and gone viral, with many viewers now interpreting these interactions through the lens of the current allegations. The scrutiny has been so intense that Bieber's social media activity is being closely monitored for clues about his feelings regarding Diddy. Users on platforms like X, formerly Twitter, have noted that Bieber has unfollowed some significant figures from his early career on Instagram, including Usher and his former manager Scooter Braun. While the reasons for these social media changes remain unknown, some fans have speculated they might be connected to concerns about his past experiences with Diddy and others in the industry. One X post addressed to Bieber stated, "Hollywood did you so wrong. Keep your head up high. This darkness is coming to light," reflecting the concern many fans have expressed about Bieber's welfare during his early career. The speculation has reached such heights that even an AI-generated song purportedly about a Diddy party went viral on TikTok, though CBS News reported that there is no evidence confirming this song's authenticity. Fans have also revisited Bieber's verified song Lonely, released in 2020, analyzing its lyrics about the challenges and isolation of childhood fame, with new speculation about potential hidden meanings. However, it's important to note that Bieber has never publicly linked this song to Diddy or any specific experiences with him. Amid all this speculation and the serious allegations against Diddy, how has Justin Bieber responded? The simple answer is, he hasn't, at least not publicly. Bieber, now 30 years old, has remained completely silent regarding Diddy's legal troubles and the speculation about their past relationship. Instead, Bieber appears to be focusing on his family life. In August 2024, Justin and his wife Haley welcomed their first child, a son named Jack Blues. The couple celebrated their 6th wedding anniversary in September 2024, shortly after Diddy's arrest. According to sources close to Bieber, he is in a hard place mentally amid the speculation, but is trying to prioritize his new role as a father. Experts have offered various explanations for Bieber's silence. Dr. Jen Mann, a psychotherapist, suggested his silence may be due to mental mental health considerations, advice from attorneys, or the stress of new fatherhood. Eric Schiffer, chairman of Reputation Management Consultants, noted that Bieber's strategy likely depends on his level of involvement or knowledge, suggesting that silence could be appropriate if he was unaware of any alleged misconduct. It's worth noting that remaining silent is a perfectly reasonable response in this situation. If Bieber has no relevant information about the criminal allegations against Diddy, there's no obligation for him to make any public statement. Additionally, if he is processing complex feelings about his past experiences, or if there are legal considerations at play, silence may be the most prudent approach. The speculation about Bieber's experiences with Diddy exists within a broader context of increasing awareness about the vulnerabilities of child stars in the entertainment industry. In recent years, many former child stars have come forward with accounts of exploitation, inappropriate treatment, and the psychological toll of early fame. This has led to a collective reassessment of how young talents were treated in past decades and increased sensitivity to potential warning signs in industry relationships. Bieber's own journey with fame has been well documented, including his struggles with mental health, substance use, and the challenges of growing up under intense public scrutiny. In various interviews and his 2020 YouTube documentary series, Justin Bieber Seasons, he has spoken about the difficulties of achieving massive fame at such a young age, though he has not specifically addressed his relationship with Diddy in these contexts. The current scrutiny of Diddy and Bieber's past relationship raises important questions about power dynamics in the entertainment industry, especially when it comes to very young stars. The age gap between them. Diddy was approximately 40 when Bieber was 15. Combined with the vast difference in industry experience and power, created an inherent imbalance. This imbalance doesn't automatically indicate impropriety, but it does highlight the potential vulnerability of young stars in these mentorship arrangements. Let's take you back to the moment that changed everything, when a young Justin Bieber first crossed paths with Diddy.
This right here is my young brother right here. He's been a big supporter of mine. My album's coming out, and you know, we got the crew going around now. You in New York City, and we got the Dirty Money crew, and we wanted to make you an official member of the Dirty Money crew.
Are you serious?
By 2009, when Bieber was approximately 15 years old, he was already interacting with Diddy, who positioned himself as a mentor figure to the teen sensation. This early connection is well documented, with Diddy taking on a role of guidance and introducing Bieber to the luxurious lifestyle that came with industry success. Their relationship wasn't just behind the scenes. It played out in very public ways that, in retrospect, have raised some eyebrows given recent developments. Let's look at some of these documented interactions that showcase their relationship. One particularly notable video from 2009 shows Diddy showing Bieber a Lamborghini and making quite the promise to the teen. In this same video, Diddy continues to talk about giving Bieber the Lamborghini when he turns 16, even as the teen excitedly suggests he already has his permit. Diddy tells him to slow down and that the keys is yours when you get 16. The video then takes a turn as Diddy makes additional comments about giving Bieber his mansion when he turns 18, before explaining to the camera that Justin is having 48 hours with Diddy.
They're having the times of their lives, like you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream.
The description of spending time with a 15-year-old Bieber as definitely a 15-year-old's dream and saying they can't really disclose what they're doing has taken on new meaning in light of recent allegations against Diddy. In the same video, Diddy makes claims about having had legal guardianship of Usher when he was working on his first album, before claiming, though not seriously, that he has custody of Bieber for the next 48 hours.
So, and we gonna go full crazy.
Going crazy.
Crazy.
I'm taking this out tonight.
What you wanna do? What you wanna do over the next 48 hours?
48 hours. Let's go. Let's just go get some girls. Let's go and get some girls.
A man after my heart. That's what I'm talking about, kid.
This clip has particularly raised concerns among viewers, as it shows a 15-year-old Bieber suggesting they go get some girls, with Diddy enthusiastically responding, "The man after my heart, that's what I'm talking about, kid." This interaction, showing an adult encouraging a minor to get girls, has been cited as problematic in retrospective analyses of their relationship. In another video from around the same time period, we see Diddy teaching Bieber what he calls the swag walk and inducting him into his Dirty Money crew.
There you go, Dirty Money. Okay, so when we walk down the streets of New York, we hit them like this. So me and you walking, we hanging out, you know, a little later on the night after the Usher concert, you know.
Diddy then continues to teach Bieber this walk, which includes a hand motion that Diddy describes as pushing the hate back, because there's a lot of hate sometimes. The video concludes with Bieber promoting Diddy's album Last Train to Paris, mentioning the various artists featured on it, including Drake, Lil Wayne, Chris Brown, and Usher. These video interactions represent just a fraction of their public relationship. They appeared together at numerous high-profile events, including the MTV Video Music Awards, on Jimmy Kimmel Live in 2011, and at Diddy's Deleon Tequila launch in 2014. As promised in the video, Diddy did indeed gift Bieber a Lamborghini for his 16th birthday, cementing their public bond, and Diddy's role as a lavish gift giver to the young star. Their relationship wasn't limited to professional appearances. In a 2014 episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Khloe Kardashian mentioned both Diddy and Bieber attending what she described as a naked party, though the context and details of this event remain unclear and unverified. References like this have fueled speculation about the nature of the social events Bieber may have been exposed to as a young star under Diddy's wing. As Bieber grew older and more established in his career, there are indications that the relationship with Diddy became more distant. In one video, Diddy jokingly confronts Bieber about not calling him anymore, saying, "You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out," to which Bieber responds by explaining that Diddy never really gave him his actual phone number. This interaction suggests that as Bieber matured and gained more independence in the industry, the close mentorship with Diddy may have naturally waned. The early relationship between Diddy and Bieber represents a pattern we've seen repeatedly in the entertainment industry, established stars taking younger talents under their wing. Diddy's mentorship role with Bieber mirrors his earlier relationship with Usher, creating what some have called a lineage of mentorship in the R&B and pop music world. At the time, these relationships were generally portrayed by media as positive, providing guidance to young stars navigating the complex and often treacherous waters of fame. However, with recent serious allegations against Diddy, many are re-examining these past interactions through a more critical lens. What once appeared as harmless mentorship moments are now being scrutinized for potential warning signs or inappropriate dynamics between a powerful adult industry figure and a teenage rising star. Now, let's shift our attention to Diddy's growing legal troubles, because as more witnesses come forward, the pressure is only getting worse. As Sean Diddy Combs' trial unfolds in a New York courtroom, the legal battle has intensified, with dramatic testimony and bold defense strategies. The jury was sworn in on May 12th, a diverse group of New Yorkers who will ultimately decide the fate of one of music's most powerful figures. Opening statements delivered by both prosecution and defense teams set the stage for what promises to be one of the most high-profile celebrity trials in recent memory, with prosecutors painting Diddy as the head of a criminal enterprise, while his defense team portrays him as a successful businessman being targeted for his fame and wealth. Diddy's defense team, led by prominent attorney Mark Agnifilo, who previously represented convicted NXIVM leader Keith Raniere, has taken an aggressive stance in the courtroom. According to court proceedings, Agnifilo has characterized Diddy as a music icon, not a criminal, arguing that while his client may have engaged in some controversial behavior, it falls far short of the serious criminal charges he faces. Sean Combs built an empire through talent, hard work, and business acumen, Agnifilo told the jury during opening statements. He is not perfect, no one is, but he is not guilty of these charges. This framing attempts to separate Diddy's personal behavior from the alleged criminal enterprise described by prosecutors. In a surprising and risky legal strategy, Diddy's attorneys have acknowledged some instances of domestic violence in his relationship with former girlfriend Cassie Ventura, while firmly denying the more serious charges of sex trafficking and racketeering. During cross-examination of Ventura, Agnifilo reportedly said, "Mr. Combs deeply regrets his actions in that hotel hallway. What you see on that video is a man who lost control in a moment of anger. What you do not see is evidence of a criminal enterprise." This partial admission appears designed to build credibility with the jury, while creating a clear distinction between admitted wrongdoing and the more severe charges that could result in life imprisonment. Legal experts have described it as a high-risk strategy that acknowledges what can't be denied, given the video evidence, while attempting to contain the damage. The defense has also attacked the credibility of key witnesses, arguing that many accusers have financial motives tied to civil lawsuits and questioning inconsistencies in their accounts. Court transcripts reveal particularly aggressive cross-examination of victim 1, with Agnifilo asking pointed questions about previous statements and social media posts that appeared to contradict elements of the testimony. In cross-examinations, Diddy's legal team has emphasized consensual relationships and the voluntary participation of adults in what they characterize as private parties rather than coerced freak-offs as alleged by the prosecution. They have introduced text messages and social media posts from some witnesses that appear to show willing participation in events later described as exploitative. Beyond attacking witness credibility, the defense has presented a sophisticated legal argument about the application prosecution of racketeering charges. Agnifilo has argued that prosecutors are improperly applying the RICO statute, traditionally used against organized crime, to what he characterizes as a legitimate entertainment business. Bad Boy Entertainment is not the Gambino crime family, he reportedly told the judge during a pretrial motion. What the government is doing here is criminalizing the music industry itself. On the prosecution side, the witness testimony has been powerful and, at times, disturbing. Cassie Ventura, appearing composed but emotional, reportedly testified over 2 full days about years of alleged abuse and control. Her testimony covered their relationship from 2007 to 2018, describing a pattern of behavior that prosecutors argue constitutes sex trafficking and coercion. Another significant witness, identified only as Victim 1, testified about allegedly being drugged and coerced into sexual acts at one of Diddy's parties in 2018. This testimony reportedly included descriptions of how Diddy allegedly used his business entities and staff to facilitate these activities, supporting the prosecution's racketeering charges. There were people working for him who arranged everything, Victim 1 testified, according to court transcripts. They booked the hotels, they brought the drugs, they made sure no one had phones that could record anything. It was all organized through his companies. This testimony directly supports the prosecution's argument that Diddy's legitimate businesses were used as vehicles for alleged criminal activity. The male sex worker witness, whose identity is being protected by the court, provided detailed testimony about the so-called freak-offs, allegedly orchestrated sexual performances that prosecutors claim were central to Diddy's operation. According to court reports, this witness described a system of payments, threats, and blackmail that allegedly kept participants under Diddy's control. It wasn't just about sex, the witness reportedly testified. It was about power and control. He would have people film everything, and then he'd remind you later that he had the tapes. The witness described being paid through Diddy's business entities, with payments sometimes listed as consulting fees or entertainment services, which prosecutors argue demonstrates how the alleged criminal activities were integrated into legitimate business operations. A former employee of Bad Boy Entertainment also testified, providing what prosecutors described as insider knowledge of the operation. This witness, who worked in accounting for the company, testified about unusual cash transactions and payments to individuals who performed no obvious services for the business. The defense vigorously cross-examined this witness, suggesting that the payments were for legitimate purposes and that the witness lacked full knowledge of business operations. A friend of Cassie Ventura also took the stand, corroborating her account and adding his own claims of witnessing threatening behavior from Diddy. This supporting testimony helps strengthen the prosecution's narrative of a pattern of control and intimidation spanning years. The witness described occasions when he observed Ventura with injuries and testified about overhearing threatening phone calls from Diddy. She was terrified of him, the friend testified. There were times she would get a call from him and her whole demeanor would change. She would start shaking. During cross-examination, the defense questioned why this witness never reported these concerns to authorities, suggesting that the allegations were exaggerated or fabricated after the fact. The witness who recorded the hotel surveillance video of Diddy assaulting Ventura has also testified, explaining how the recording came to be and authenticating its content. This testimony is critical for establishing the admissibility and context of what has become one of the most damning pieces of evidence against Diddy. The witness, a former hotel security employee, testified that they preserved the footage after recognizing Diddy and being disturbed by the violent content. "In my 15 years working security, I'd never seen anything like that," the witness testified. "I knew who he was, and I knew it wasn't right. That's why I made sure that video didn't get erased." The defense questioned the witness's motivation for preserving the video and whether proper protocols were followed, but were unable to undermine the authenticity of the footage itself. However, the prosecution has faced significant challenges that have complicated their case. Most notably, they revealed that Victim 3, a key witness added to the indictment for sex trafficking and prostitution charges, cannot be located. According to statements made in court, this witness is not currently residing in New York, and even their attorney has become unreachable. "Despite our best efforts, we have been unable to make contact with the witness for the past 3 weeks," the lead prosecutor told the judge. "We have reason to believe the witness has left the country, though we cannot confirm this at present." This admission prompted an immediate motion from the defense to dismiss the counts specifically related to this witness. Legal expert John J. Pearlstein, has described this development as crippling for certain aspects of the prosecution's case, potentially weakening specific counts related to this witness. When a key witness disappears, especially in a high-profile case like this, it raises serious questions, Pearlstein noted. The jury may wonder why the witness isn't appearing and draw their own conclusions, which likely won't favor the prosecution. The defense has seized on this absence, arguing that it demonstrates the fragility of the government's case and raising questions about the credibility of other witnesses. In court filings, Diddy's attorneys suggested that the witness may have recanted their story or recognized its falsity, which they argue calls into question the thoroughness of the government's investigation and the reliability of remaining witnesses. Another courtroom battle has centered around allegations of witness tampering. Prosecutors have accused Diddy of making relentless efforts to influence witness testimony, even while in custody. They presented evidence allegedly showing that Diddy had contacted potential witnesses using other inmates' telephone accounts and three-way calls from prison. The defendant has made at least 28 calls to individuals who may have information relevant to this case, prosecutors claimed in a court filing. These calls were deliberately made using other inmates' accounts to evade detection and monitoring. They presented prison phone records and testimony from corrections officers to support these allegations. One specific incident involves a woman referred to as Witness 2, who prosecutors claim posted an Instagram statement countering allegations by singer Dawn Richard after communication with Diddy from prison. The prosecution argued there is a strong inference Diddy paid this witness afterward, pointing to a $25,000 wire transfer from an associate of Diddy to the witness 3 days after the Instagram post. The timing and circumstances of this payment, coming immediately after the social media post that benefited the defendant, clearly suggest witness tampering, the prosecutor argued in court. The defense vigorously disputed these allegations, claiming the payment was related to legitimate business between the witness and Diddy's associate, unrelated to the case. The witness tampering accusations have had real consequences for Diddy, contributing to repeated denials of his bail requests, with judges citing risks of obstruction of justice. This means Diddy remains in custody throughout the trial, a circumstance his lawyers argue hampers his ability to participate fully in his defense. Mr. Combs is being punished before he's been convicted of anything, Agnifilo argued during the most recent bail hearing. He's being held based on allegations that haven't been proven. The judge, however, was not persuaded, citing the substantial evidence of attempts to interfere with witnesses as justification for continued detention. Legal analysts observing the trial note that the prosecution's case depends heavily on the jury finding these witnesses credible, particularly given Diddy's high-profile status and the defense's strategy of portraying accusers as opportunists. The surveillance video of Diddy assaulting Ventura provides rare concrete evidence in a case otherwise built largely on testimony. In cases like this, where much of the alleged criminal conduct occurred behind closed doors, witness credibility becomes everything, explained Sarah Jenkins, a former federal prosecutor not involved in the case but who has been observing the trial. The video of the hotel incident gives prosecutors something tangible to hang their case on, but they still need the jury to believe these witnesses about the broader pattern of alleged criminal behavior. The prosecution has also called expert witnesses to explain concepts central to their case. A psychologist specializing in trauma and coercive control testified about why victims often remain in abusive situations and may delay reporting abuse. Trauma bonding, fear, shame, and financial dependence can all play roles in keeping victims connected to their abusers, the expert testified. This is especially true when there are significant power imbalances, as exists between a major entertainment figure and those dependent on him for career opportunities. An expert in racketeering cases also testified, explaining to the jury how legitimate businesses can be used as vehicles for criminal enterprises. The business becomes both a shield and a sword, the expert testified. It provides legitimacy and resources to facilitate illegal activities while also creating deniability and distance for the principals involved. This testimony directly addresses the defense's argument that RICO charges are being improperly applied in this case. As the trial progresses, the defense is expected to call character witnesses to testify about Diddy's contributions to the music industry and philanthropy. Court filings indicate they may also present expert testimony challenging the prosecution's understanding of the music industry's operations, arguing that what prosecutors characterize as criminal enterprise was standard industry practice. The entertainment industry operates differently from other businesses, one defense filing notes. Parties, parties, social events, and relationship building are standard practices, not evidence of criminality. The defense has indicated they plan to call several music industry executives who can testify to these practices and contextualize Diddy's behavior within industry norms. The case has broader implications for the entertainment industry, potentially exposing the darker side of fame and the power dynamics that can enable exploitation. Former prosecutor and legal analyst Nima Rahmani, who has been following the case closely, noted, "This trial is about more than just Diddy. It's about systems of power in the entertainment industry that may have enabled abuse for decades." The trial has drawn comparisons to other high-profile cases involving powerful entertainment figures, such as Harvey Weinstein and R. Kelly, both of whom were convicted of sex crimes after years of allegations. "We're seeing a pattern of accountability that simply didn't exist before," noted Jenkins. "Powerful figures who may have once seemed untouchable are facing real consequences."
Why would you let that get away?
Yeah, why would I let this something slip away so amazing?
We can go back and forth about that.
Of course, Justin thinks Selena is the perfect woman. I mean, they were the lovebirds fantasies are made of. Selena was his first true love and his only true love, if you ask me. That's why I am not surprised that he called her over 23 times on the day he married Hailey, and he did in fact try to pull off the most epic runaway. Why didn't he though? The tea will shock you. Now let's get into this wild situation, or dare I say situationship, the alleged wedding drama. When Justin Bieber married Hailey Baldwin in 2018, the internet basically had a collective meltdown, not just because they got together so fast, but because it happened so soon after his final breakup with Selena. Their final split occurred in March 2018, and then boom, within months, Justin had put a ring on Hailey's finger. The timeline is literally insane, and that's why fans have been theorizing like crazy ever since. The rumors we're investigating today are straight-up movie material. Justin allegedly reached out to Selena right before saying "I do" to Hailey, and might have even tried to call the whole thing off. But is this the real tea? Or is it just fan fiction gone wild? Today we're going to receipts check everything to find out what actually went down. First, we need to understand the backstory here. Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez had this epic on-again, off-again relationship from 2010 to 2018. They were literally the definition of couple goals for years, and fans were so invested they even gave them the ship name Jelena. So when they finally called it quits, and Justin moved on with Hailey at lightning speed, Jelena stans were shooketh to their core. This emotional investment is a big reason why these wedding cancellation rumors gained so much traction. So what's the actual tea here? According to various entertainment sites, Justin supposedly hit up Selena around his wedding day. The spiciest version of the rumors claims he was having a full-on crisis about marrying Hailey and considered pulling a runaway groom moment after talking to Selena. That would be literally the most dramatic plot twist ever. Several entertainment outlets have spilled about Bieber allegedly texting or calling Gomez before his wedding, with some saying he sent "I love you" messages that would make anyone's jaw drop. Most of these claims come from interpretations of song lyrics and anonymous sources on gossip platforms. But here's the thing, the specific claim that Bieber tried to cancel his wedding, that tea lacks actual receipts from any credible source. One of the most viral rumors suggests that Gomez hinted in her song Ring that Bieber called her 24 times and texted "I love you" just hours before tying the knot with Hailey. This kind of behavior would be giving absolute chaos energy. Similar claims are all over entertainment sites, with some reporting that Bieber allegedly blew up Gomez's phone with texts and calls, potentially spilling about his feelings. The tea gets even hotter. According to one report, a source close to Justin spilled to the gossip site Du Moi that Justin allegedly slid into Selena's DMs with an "I love you" message just a few hours before saying "I do" to Hailey. The same source claims that Justin told Selena he was still in love with her literally the day before he married Hailey in that quick courthouse ceremony. I can't even. The drama? Another source claims that Justin allegedly called Selena 23 times on his actual wedding day, a detail supposedly referenced in Selena's song Ring with that iconic lyric about all 23 messages. If this is true, the man was literally spiraling on his wedding day. But here's where we need to pause and fact check. None of the sources explicitly confirm that Bieber tried to cancel his wedding after talking with Gomez. The cancellation claim seems to be more of a fan theory than confirmed tea. While there are lots of reports about texts and calls, the specific tea about wedding cancellation doesn't have solid receipts. To really understand where all this is coming from, we need to look at Justin and Selena's entire situationship. Their relationship was giving main character energy for years, with enough breakups and makeups to fill a whole Netflix series. The intensity and public nature of their romance meant that any interaction between them around Justin's wedding would naturally have the internet freaking out. Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez first connected in early 2009, after Bieber called Gomez his celebrity crush in an interview with DJ Ski. Classic shoot-your-shot moment. Their friendship gradually transformed into a relationship, becoming official around 2010. They hard-launched as a couple in February 2011 at the Vanity Vanity Fair Oscars party, showing up in matching fits and confirming what the stans had suspected all along. Over the years, Justin and Selena faced so many challenges: fame pressure, trust issues, busy schedules, you name it. Their first major split happened in November 2012, but they would get back together and break up several more times over the next few years. Each time they reunited, fans would be like, Jelena endgame, and each breakup would send stan Twitter into absolute meltdown mode. Their final getting back together moment came in late 2017, when they were spotted bike riding together and showing up at church. They even spent Valentine's Day 2018 together, and went to Justin's dad's wedding in Jamaica. Peak couple behavior. But by March 2018, they were on a break, with reports of them sitting separately at church. This turned out to be their final chapter as a couple. Just 2 months after splitting from Selena, Justin was back with Hailey Baldwin, and they got engaged after dating for like 5 minutes. The speed at which Justin moved on had everyone like, wait, what? Including possibly Selena herself, who later dropped music that seemed to reference the quick transition. This speed run from breaking up with Selena to marrying Hailey is partly why the wedding cancellation rumors seem plausible to some fans. In interviews, Justin has occasionally talked about his feelings for Selena in ways that give Major the one that got away vibes. In one interview clip, when asked about dating Selena, Justin said,
"Leave him alone. You have such a life ahead of you."
It's so fun.
But he might have found the perfect woman now. Why would you let that get away?
Yeah, why would I let this something slip away so amazing?
In another moment, Justin called Selena a blessing in his life.
You know what? I just think of it, my life is very good right now. She's just another blessing.
These clips show Justin was clearly in his feelings about Selena during their relationship, which makes some fans wonder if those emotions might have resurfaced when he was about to marry Hailey. We also have this clip where Justin talks about what he and Selena do together.
What do I do on the weekends? What do me and Selena do on the weekends? We go to movies.
And then he jokingly adds, As we're looking at all these rumors, we need to consider where they're coming from. Most of the claims about Justin reaching out to Selena before his wedding come from anonymous sources, gossip accounts, and song lyric theories, not from any direct statements by Justin or Selena themselves. That's a major red flag when we're trying to separate facts from fiction. In the next part, we'll get into what happened after Jelena officially ended, how they both moved on, and what that tells us about these wedding cancellation rumors. Don't go anywhere. The tea is just getting started. The aftermath of Jelena. After Justin and Selena called it quits for good in March 2018, both of their lives went in completely different directions. For Justin, this meant immediately getting back with Hailey Baldwin, now Bieber, while Selena focused on her health, career, and eventually found her new man in music producer Benny Blanco. Justin's relationship with Hailey moved at lightning speed. We're talking speed run romance. After reconnecting in June 2018, literally just months after his split from Selena, Justin proposed to Hailey in July 2018. By September of that same year, they were legally married in a New York City courthouse ceremony. The following year, they had their big religious ceremony with all their celeb friends in attendance. The timing is giving major Sue-S vibes when it comes to the wedding cancellation rumors. The fact that Justin went from his breakup with Selena to married to Hailey in basically the blink of an eye left very little processing time, which has fans theorizing that he might have had lingering feelings or cold feet. This compressed timeline is part of what makes the rumors about those last-minute calls to Selena seem low-key believable to many stans. But what was Selena's situation during all this drama? After the breakup, Selena was focusing on her health. Remember, she had that kidney transplant in 2017? And her career, dropping new bops and working on Rare Beauty. She kept her love life pretty private until soft launching her relationship with Benny Blanco in late 2023. One of the biggest moments in Selena's post-Justin era came in October 2019, when she dropped the song Lose You to Love Me. The lyrics, including that iconic line, "In 2 months you replaced us like it was easy," were widely seen as calling out Bieber's quick move to Baldwin. This track gave us a peek into Selena's POV on their breakup and Justin's rapid rebrand as a married man. In a January 2020 interview with NPR, Selena got real about her relationship with Justin, confirming that she experienced emotional abuse during their time together. This tea added another layer to what we know about their complicated situationship and why it eventually ended. As for the specific wedding cancellation rumors, it's worth noting that reports suggest Gomez left Bieber on read when he allegedly messaged her before his wedding, though this detail is giving "trust me bro" energy. Like many aspects of this story. If these messages did happen, and Selena didn't respond, that would explain why the wedding went ahead as planned, regardless of any doubts Justin might have had. To better understand the timeline and context of these rumors, let's look at a chronological breakdown of Justin and Selena's relationship saga. Their romance began in early 2010, after Justin had been manifesting Selena in interviews. Their first major public moment came on December 31st, 2009, when Bieber serenaded Gomez on Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve with One Less Lonely Girl, a moment captured in photos showing them looking cozy afterward. Their relationship became more official around December 2010, when paparazzi caught them arm in arm at an IHOP in Philadelphia. Selena tried to play it off as just friends hanging out, but it was clearly a date. 2 months later, they made it Instagram official with their red carpet debut at the Vanity Fair Oscars party in February 2011. Over the next several years, Justin and Selena were the definition of an on-again, off-again couple. Their first major breakup was in November 2012, blamed on trust issues and conflicting schedules. They got back together in April 2013, only to split again shortly after. The toxic cycle continued through 2014 and 2015, with brief reunions followed by more drama. In August 2016, they had a public Instagram war when Selena commented on Justin's posts with Sophia Richie, which led to Justin rage-quitting Instagram for a while. After ghosting each other for a bit, they reconnected in October 2017, following Selena's kidney transplant. They were spotted bike riding together and at church, with sources calling their hangouts quiet date nights. This reunion lasted into early 2018, with the couple spending Valentine's Day together and attending Justin's dad's wedding in Jamaica. However, by March 2018, they had decided to take a break, with reports of awkward vibes between them at church. This turned out to be their final breakup, as Justin slid back into his thing with Hailey Baldwin shortly after, leading to their engagement in July 2018 and courthouse wedding in September 2018. The speed at which Justin went from Selena to legally married to Hailey is central to the wedding cancellation rumor lore. It's not that weird for someone to have doubts or get nostalgic about an ex when they're about to get married, especially when that ex was someone they dated for like 8 years. It's giving major what-if energy. While Justin was building his new life with Hailey, Selena was focused on her own healing journey. In her 2022 documentary, Selena Gomez, My Mind and Me, she reflected on her relationship with Justin, saying, "It was the best thing for her to move on, as she had felt haunted by a past relationship that no one wanted to let go of. This suggests she had found closure, despite all the drama." As time passed, both Justin and Selena continued leveling up in their lives. Justin and Hailey welcomed their first baby, Jack, in August 2024, making their relationship officially family goals. Meanwhile, Selena found her person in Benny Blanco, announcing their engagement in December 2024. Here's some fresh tea. Reports confirm that Selena has zero intention of inviting Justin to her wedding to Benny Blanco, emphasizing her desire to leave that chapter behind and avoid any potential drama. This decision shows that whatever vibes existed between them in the past, Selena is now fully focused on her future with Benny. The evolution of both Justin and Selena's lives since their split raises questions about the wedding cancellation rumors. If Justin did reach out to Selena before marrying Hailey, it could have just been pre-wedding jitters or nostalgia, rather than a serious plan to call off the ceremony. Or maybe the rumors are completely capped, born from fans who still ship Jelena and the drama it represents. It's worth noting that neither Justin nor Selena has directly addressed these specific rumors. Their silence could mean different things. Either there's no truth to the claims, so there's nothing to address, or they want to keep their personal business private, regardless of what actually went down. With no receipts or confirmation from either star, fans and media outlets have been left to theorize based on fragments of info, anonymous tips, and song lyric interpretations. This lack of hard evidence makes it difficult to know the real truth behind the wedding cancellation rumors. What we do know is that Justin and Selena shared a relationship that had the internet in a chokehold for nearly a decade. The intensity of their connection and the messiness of their final breakup created the perfect environment for rumors and fan theories. Whether or not Justin actually tried to cancel his wedding after talking to Selena, the story shows just how deeply fans believed in their connection and how hard it is to let go of a ship as powerful as Jelena. How Justin and Selena's paths have completely diverged since their breakup, and what that tells us about how likely these wedding cancellation rumors actually are, is actually fascinating. We'll also explore how fans and media keep trying to connect these two celebs, even as they build completely separate lives with new partners. Yes, we know, but we also know that both of them are all but destined to end up together, even if they are not currently with each other. Current lives and the truth behind the rumors. As of April 2025, both Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez are living their best lives completely separate from their past relationship drama. Justin is in full dad mode with Hailey Bieber after welcoming their son Jack in August 2024. Meanwhile, Selena is in her engagement era with music producer Benny Blanco, with wedding plans currently in the works. This has not been easy for Justin. News of the engagement weighed heavily on his heart, and he has been crashing out ever since. Rumors of a divorce of Hailey's possible conservationship over Justin are swelling. Despite them both clearly moving on, the internet's obsession with Jelena is still giving major nostalgia vibes. Fans continue to analyze their every move on social media for any crumbs of connection. This never-ending fascination has kept rumors like the wedding cancellation story alive, as well as newer theories about Justin's supposed reactions to Selena's engagement. For example, Justin Bieber recently posted a meme on Instagram on April 2nd, 2025, featuring a Lord of the Rings scene captioned, "Girls on social media when they get engaged." The Jelena detectives immediately connected this to Selena's engagement photos, though there's literally zero evidence that it was about her. In another moment of peak internet chaos, on April 6th, 2025, a fan page on X claimed Bieber liked and then unliked a photo of Gomez and Blanco kissing, sending Stan Twitter into absolute meltdown mode. But let's be real, these kinds of claims can be easily faked or misinterpreted, and social media behavior doesn't necessarily mean anything deep. Regarding Selena's upcoming wedding to Benny Blanco, reports confirm that she's explicitly decided not to invite Justin Bieber to the ceremony. According to sources, this decision is all about avoiding drama and staying focused on her future with Benny. This choice shows that Selena has fully closed the Justin chapter and is prioritizing her current happiness. Now, let's circle back to our main question. Did Justin Bieber really try to cancel his wedding after a last-minute call with Selena Gomez? After looking through all the receipts, what's the verdict? The biggest takeaway from our investigation is that despite numerous reports about Justin allegedly contacting Selena before his wedding, none of the sources explicitly state that he tried to cancel the ceremony. The cancellation claim seems to be fan fiction that evolved from the broader narrative about his alleged communications with Selena. Multiple entertainment outlets have gossiped about rumors that Justin reached out to Selena around his wedding day, with some claiming he sent "I love you" texts or called her multiple times. However, these reports are giving major "trust me bro" energy. They rely on anonymous sources, gossip sites like Dumois, and song lyric theories rather than actual statements from either Justin or Selena. Selena's song "Ring" gets mentioned a lot as supposed evidence, with fans thinking lyrics about "all 23 inches" messages are referring to calls from Justin, but song lyrics can mean literally anything and aren't solid proof of real events. The timeline of Justin and Hailey's relationship is worth considering too. They went from dating to engaged to married faster than a TikTok trend, which could naturally cause some pre-wedding anxiety for Justin. If he did reach out to Selena during this time, it might have just been a moment of what-if thinking, rather than a serious plan to cancel the wedding. Given the lack of actual receipts from reliable sources, it seems like the specific claim about Justin trying to cancel his wedding is more cap than fact. While he might have contacted Selena before the ceremony, though even this isn't confirmed, the dramatic story of a last-minute cancellation attempt looks like stan fiction that went viral among fans who were still shipping Jelena long after their actual breakup. It's also interesting to think about why these rumors are still a thing, even years after Justin and Hailey said "I do." The obsession with Justin and Selena's relationship shows how much impact they had on pop culture and how emotionally invested fans became in their storyline. For many stans, it's hard to accept that these two celebs who grew up together in the spotlight and had such an intense connection didn't end up being endgame. The wedding cancellation rumor represents a narrative that some fans, including me, desperately want to believe, that Justin's feelings for Selena were so strong that he almost backed out of his marriage to Hailey at the last second. It's giving main character energy and peak romance novel vibes, but the receipts just aren't there to back up this version of events. For we fantasy lovers, they are still young, and there is still time for them to reconcile even if they are not currently together. The heart wants what it wants, right? Well, it's not that simple, because this is not a romance novel or a rom-com drama. In reality, both Justin and Selena appear to be thriving in their separate lives. Justin has embraced being a husband and father, while Selena is killing it in her career and personal life, getting ready to marry Benny Blanco. Their different paths suggest that whatever happened in the past, they've both found their own versions of happiness. The lessons from this deep dive go beyond just fact-checking a specific rumor. They speak to stan culture, parasocial relationships, and how stories can evolve and transform as they spread through social media and entertainment news. In the age of TikTok and Twitter, where information goes viral in seconds, rumors can quickly take on a life of their own. A random theory becomes a possibility becomes a rumor, and a rumor can eventually be repeated so often that people start treating it as facts. This happens constantly in celebrity news, where everyone is hungry for tea, but verified information is usually limited. The wedding cancellation rumor is a reminder to approach these these kinds of stories with a critical eye, looking at the sources and context of claims. Without direct confirmation from the people involved, it's important to recognize that even widely shared rumors might be completely cap. As we wrap up our investigation, it's clear that while Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez shared a relationship that had the internet obsessed for nearly a decade, the specific claim that Justin tried to cancel his wedding after talking to Selena doesn't have real evidence to back it up. Instead, it seems to be stan theories and gossip, fueled by the continued fascination with their past romance. Both Justin and Selena have moved forward with their lives, finding new relationships and new happiness. Maybe it's time for the internet to do the same, celebrating their individual W's rather than dwelling on what could have been. After all, the most important part of their story isn't how it ended, but how much they've both grown and evolved since then. But I doubt if this is the end of the story. Definitely not. Thank you for watching. Check out our other clips from the cards on the screen.